Raw Conversation has been rated adult by Dripping in Black Productions. Mature audiences only. Welcome to a special edition of Raw Conversation, highlighting the 2022 Academy Awards.
What's up, everybody? Y'all good?
Yeah, we good.
Yeah. All right. So our producers called us to the studio. We got a lot to unpack today.
Yes.
So we're gonna get right to it. In pre-production, which lasted all of 2 minutes, they told us to skip the intro, say hi to everybody, but skip the intros and get straight to business. So we have an idea of what our topic is. This is a special edition of Raw Conversation, by the way. So I hope everybody have on their thinking caps and have brought their opinions with them, because we have a lot to unpack. I know y'all social media has been blowing up, as has mine. And it's kind of like the slap heard all around the world. Yeah. Everybody's talking about it. If you don't know what we're talking about, I don't know what rock, no pun intended, you've been under. It's a
good one.
Hey, it's a lot going on, man. So we're talking about what happened at the Oscars between two people, Will Smith and Chris Rock. And so they got a few topics they're gonna drop in the chat, and we're gonna get right to it. All right. Question number one, two-part question. How did you find out, and what was your initial response? So when we say find out, as we know,
I was watching it.
Oh, you were watching the Oscars?
It was live. I was watching it. I was like, what's happening? And then it paused. Oh. And then it it panned to Will, and you saw it's like, oh, I know what he's saying. I was like, oh, this was real.
So and it paused when after the slap, you're saying?
No, like he walks on stage. So you heard the joke. I mean, it wasn't nothing. You'd be like, oh my gosh, it's just okay, And then it shows Will laughing. It shows Jada like, kind of like, I think she kind of did something like,
she kind of rolled her eyes.
Yeah, like something like that, like annoyed. And then it goes back to Chris because he's going on with the show. And then you see Will walking up. And so Chris is like, oh, here comes like whatever his character is, King Richard or something. I think, I don't remember. And then you get him, and then they're like this, and then it pauses.
So let's kind of set it up a little bit more. So Chris Rock is on stage at the Oscars. He's introducing an award. And as a part of this award introduction, he has a brief monologue. And a part of that brief monologue, he has a joke. And that joke was a joke about Jada and her new hairstyle, saying something to the effect of, are you going to be in the next G.I. Jane? Because her hair is short.
G.I. Jane too.
That's what we assume.
That's what he said.
I know, but he doesn't say anything about her hair, because there's another theory about why the G.I.
Oh, yeah.
So he just said G.I. Jane. Yeah.
I think the other theory is a little far-fetched, though. But so let's work off the premise of it's the hair, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe we can unpack, if we have time, the other potential theory. So
let me ask a question real quick before you get into it. When did that happen? Was that at the beginning of the show, or
kind of like the middle, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because he wasn't hosting it. Chris Rock wasn't hosting it, so he wasn't up there at the beginning.
Yeah, he was just announcing the award.
That's funny.
And so he was announcing, I forget what, I think it was the category that Questlove won.
Different.
It is.
Yeah, so that got overshadowed, unfortunately. That's an unfortunate byproduct of what happened. Yeah. So he says the joke. Some view it as distasteful. If it is the premise of the hair joke, has alopecia, she being Jada Pinkett.
But in the moment, no one knows that.
Yeah.
And, it's just the G.I. Jane,
I think,
but that's the thing. Go ahead, Key. Okay.
I think comedians have done worse. I feel like that right there was such a lightweight joke. They made jokes about R. Kelly peeing on girls, and
for sure.
Michael Jackson, Tiger Woods caught jokes. Like everybody catches jokes, and I think, given Chris Rock's history, that's what he does. He's a joke teller. So My
and after
opinion
he
on it.
does it, he says,
Uh-huh.
"What? That was a good one. That was a good one." You know, like it wasn't even that bad. I'm not saying anything about entanglement. Nothing that you
Yeah.
said at the red table or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
You know.
But okay, I'm gonna offer just a different opinion in terms of the whole hair, because we're going from the hair premise. You know, people were saying that the joke is not that bad. Of course, we don't have alopecia. We don't know what she's going through. We don't know, you know, the pain that he's watched her go through. Yes, Jada always appears confident. She gonna own what she has, but we all know behind closed doors, those insecurities that we only show our loved ones, we not gonna show to the public.
He laughed when he first said it.
He
So it
laughed.
couldn't have
He
been.
laughed.
Nah.
But she didn't
She
laugh.
laughed too. She been on
Yeah,
her
but what I'm
Instagram
saying is,
embracing
like,
it. And
But that's what I'm saying. People embrace insecurity because they want to have a front in front of people. It doesn't necessarily mean that I am not insecure about it.
here's the thing.
And
Men
that
suffer
doesn't
from
mean that I
alopecia all
want
the
to be
time.
that a joke about it doesn't hurt me. And so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he probably laughed. But how many times have you thought something was funny and you kind of look at your partner, your child, or whoever, a loved one, and you realize it's hurting them? Or maybe that you didn't
alopecia
understand,
joke.
but then now it's hurting them.
True.
Now I'm reacting. So
No,
that's
I agree.
that's kind of a different spin on it for me.
Her feelings could have been hurt. She
Yeah.
could have looked at him, but I guess if I'm just gonna jump right into it, Will was out of line.
No,
Check
yeah,
him.
totally
Like,
out of
check
line.
him, but you gonna go on stage and smack?
Totally out of
It's
line.
not like, come on, dude. It just got you looking weak. It got you looking like
Hella
like,
corny.
you got your
It was
head
so corny.
gone. And Will, you're better than that. And
Yeah.
I think he may have been like Leah is saying, like people get fed up. You get to a certain point. Granted, still it's live television.
Yeah.
It's Oscars.
You know what it said? It just shows me the dark skinned Aunt Bill was right about Will. That's how I looked at it. I'm like,
Really?
yeah, I feel like just Will, like he had this. If Will was a bad boy and he was just known for getting in trouble or speaking out or doing something, you could have been like, damn, okay, that's Will. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
he's had
Is
this
that
squeaky clean
1990s
image.
Will? Like what Will
I'm
is
talking
that?
about if it was Will, period. If he had that type of persona where you seen Will speaking out against people on
Oh, okay.
social media, just like, yo, get the fuck out of here, or whatever he wanted to say, you'd
Yeah.
be like, okay, damn, I see why he did it. But
Yeah.
he's had this persona of this squeaky clean image for the past 30
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is what you do
Yeah.
to make you know what I mean? Like, this is the joke that got you to potentially ruin the night.
Somebody that was also squeaky clean, that was going to have enough poise to keep it going. He would not have gone up there had it been someone that could have
Escalated it.
He wouldn't have, but the trigger might have went down if he saw someone on there on the other side that was like massively
Threatening.
I do agree. I think he got tired of being seen as weak because social media has been kind of dragging him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
agree.
think all of that played a factor. For the record, I think he was wrong. I think there was overreaction. I heard you use the term, Leah, reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I was about to interject and say, was that a reaction or was that an overreaction?
Oh yeah, it was over. It was over the top.
That's characterized as an overreaction. And so, but I do think it's due in part to how he has been treated in the media recently. And I think he reached a boiling point at the worst time for all parties involved. I'm sure Chris Rock was not thinking in his wildest imagination that it would get that reaction. And even as Will was walking up on the stage, he's probably thinking, what is this guy about to do?
Yeah.
Right.
Not thinking, what? So, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I heard that joke was rehearsed.
No, I heard that it wasn't on the, it wasn't a part of the rehearsals, that he kind of
I heard that it
ad-libbed.
was. Nah, I heard what
No.
Jay heard.
I heard
that
it
it
was
was
like a
part of the
writer,
script.
but it was like maybe a writer wrote it. And
Yeah. And then that's what I read somewhere. The Academy said that wasn't a part of the rehearsal. So who knows what's right? Who knows what's right at this point?
yeah, rumors.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't know because we've heard it both ways, but I don't know. I just think for me, I'm so sad that it happened. I'm so disappointed just because of how it overshadowed everything. I'm sad for Will, because this was your night. This was it for you. And this is like, oh God, you did this. Of course, I feel bad for Chris and all the other people, Questlove and all those people.
Samuel
But
Jackson.
at the same time, I'm not one of them people that's condemning Will. I'm really not. I'm just, I think he shouldn't have done it. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying he, he was right. But at the end of the day, I'm like, it's easy for us to say what we would have done in a situation, knowing everything. We don't have the emotions behind it. We don't know what, we don't know the look him and Jada may have got, or we got the camera views that were caught, but we don't know the everyday, day-to-day things they talk about. We don't know what happened between that joke and, between the cameras going back and forth. We don't know what was already on Will's mind. Because I mean, there was other stuff going on. I think we all can agree there was something else going on. Now, what, we don't know.
I think it's Will's fault. People look at Will Smith as being corny and soft because that's how he portrayed himself. That was his image. I'm this goofy guy. He goes on stage. He may kiss a guy in good humor. Whatever it is, he made his image. And all of a sudden, I think it's so over the top because it's Will Smith. If it was the baby that went on stage and slapped Chris Rock,
or Kanye.
Damn, I can't believe the baby did that. We don't care if it was the baby and a joke was said about his girlfriend. We would have condemned the baby wholeheartedly. Like, it's not about condemning Will Smith, but it's definitely about holding him accountable. Like, everybody went to his aid. Nobody went to Chris Rock to be like, damn, bro, you all right? Like, nobody
Chris went behind
chin.
stage. So we can't see what happened. Will stayed on stage. So we don't know who went and saw after Chris. But I do agree that because of his, people, if I'm understanding you correctly, people are not condemning him because of his squeaky clean image. But that's no different than any other situation. You got two kids. You got one kid that's a troublemaker. You got one kid that don't get in trouble that often. The one that don't get in trouble that often, you're going to extend a little more grace to them because this is not their character. That one that's always starting stuff, okay, you know what? I'm tired of you. You go over there and you do this. So I think
this is a little different, Leah. As a person that deal with kids who get in trouble quite frequently. No, but in all seriousness, Will has essentially been pampered after this. He had a good reason. He's been picked on enough. That's why he reacted. That's why he overreacted. He was allowed to stay. He was allowed to accept this Oscar.
The baby would have been kicked out.
Yeah.
Because of Will.
There were graces that were extended to Will that would not likely have been extended to a lot of other people in that situation. He literally walked up on stage in the middle, slapped the person, went back to his seat, and issued a threat. It was allowed to
all speculation. We don't know what they would have done. This has never happened. This has never happened. So we can't say that they would have escorted somebody else out.
I do want to bring something up, though. Why has Will been and Jada been in the media? It's on their own doing. Jada, talk show, Will, and his book. So I mean, like, the publicity that they have and the entanglement and the being able to meet her sex drive, like all of these different stories and headlines have come from them.
Yeah,
so
and it's
Jada
Jada.
Put things out there, and I mean, this is me with no type of like following. When you put things out there, you know what comes with it, and so I just hope. I don't know. It seems like an unraveling to me,
I think
like, it really seems
Will
like an unraveling. Like when you do that, like you are like
you on edge.
I think it was definitely his ego was bruised, but I think Jada has continuously made Will look weak in the media. I feel like she makes him look weak, and when she didn't take the joke lightly, I feel like his ego again was like, damn, here she go again. She's gonna talk about me or say something. And that made him step up and show that he was macho. I've been disappointed in Jada for years.
Like, I wouldn't have let my man go up there. Like, knowing probably what has been going on that we don't know behind closed doors, how he's on edge and all of that. Like, this is too important of a moment.
And when people keep saying this, and when people keep saying like, oh, he's defending his wife, dude, defending his wife against what? A comedian? It's not like Chris Rock said this and this wasn't in a setting where he's speaking publicly. He's up there to tell some jokes. So it's not like this was said in their home or some place where it was an intimate setting. Like you went to a show, and that's the type of stuff that
I do
happens
think
when
that he has
comedians get
the
on
right
stage.
to defend her.
Yeah.
I
Not
just
in
think
that
he could have done
setting.
it a different way.
He could have done it in a different way, but I do
What-
want to go back to, I've seen that argument that Jada should have stopped him. And it's like, I'm sure he didn't turn to her and said, babe, I'm about to go up there and hit him. I mean, I'm sure he jumped up. She probably didn't know what he was doing. Everybody's
Possibly.
shocked. Don't know about, what is he doing? Okay. You know, so I just don't see her being able to stop him. And just as a wife, you know, there are things that I can prevent if there's pre-planning, I can prevent my husband probably from doing most things. I cannot stop him when he just does something, flies off. There's been times he's done something, I'm like, whoa, where that come from? And I couldn't stop him because I didn't know, that was about to happen. So I don't know if she could have stopped him.
But do you have a look but do you know when you have the power to like look at your husband a certain way and it means like, you better handle that?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
like, all I'm saying is like, it went from Will laughing to Jada and whatever happened in that exchange.
In that moment.
And then he gets up and he walks there. So in the moment, no, grab his hand. No, that's going to look even more messy. But
She's probably like, you so
she
weak.
made some
That's
type
right.
of, I'm assuming, she
'Cause
did some
Will
type
was
of look
laughing.
or something that then switched
at the
it
joke.
to, I'm not just going to laugh this off and let it go.
But
I'm about to,
also in that moment, there could have been a moment that she looked hurt that he recognized that, oh shoot, so it could go both ways. And that's the thing, we don't know. We don't know those behind the scene moments that led up to it that, again, I think we all can agree he was wrong as 10 left feet. It wasn't the right thing. It was an overreaction, but I still don't know. We still don't know what got him there.
yeah.
And not saying that that's an excuse. I think he should be
Right.
punished. He's got to be punished. At the end of the day, no matter how much you forgive someone or you extend grace, there's a consequence to every action.
So
there's going to be consequence.
You think there should be a consequence?
Oh
Like,
yeah. Oh
Right,
yeah.
so-
what would you?
So let's toss this one out there. What should Chris Rock have done?
Beat his
What he
ass.
did?
I would. Shit.
What he did?
Nothing. He did everything. I think he did everything right in that
Now,
moment.
Yeah.
behind closed doors, there's
Yeah.
another conversation. But
I
like,
don't know.
I'm waiting for you
Now-
outside. That's what he
thank
That's
you.
the
about
thing.
that.
I
Thank
don't
you for
know.
doing that, Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Rock is the truth. Because he kept his
Thank
composure and told a joke to the point where you thought it was staged because his
Yeah.
reflexes, comedic
Yeah.
reflexes was on point. But me, Will wouldn't have made it back to the seat.
Oh, yeah, no, he wouldn't.
Will lose a death. Like going back to this, you gonna
Listen.
smack me?
And that's
Then
why
he
I
walked
feel
off with
bad
the
for
tongue
All
out.
of
To
us
a
would have been
certain
doing
extent.
this if it became a brawl. At least.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I feel bad for him because for one, he did the right thing. But for two, I know it's hurting his manhood because it's like, I got punked. Not just in front of a group of people, but in front of the world. And I mean, and I didn't do nothing. I know he did the right thing, but in his, I'm wondering where he at. Like I could, now I look like a punk. I'm a punk now at this point. I didn't let some fool come up here and smack me on stage. And I didn't
I don't think Chris Rock is getting looked at as a punk because the
No.
overreaction of Will was so off guard. Now, if
I don't think, but Key, wait a minute. I don't think no one's looking at him as a punk, but in his mind, his male ego, I'm saying, because he didn't do something, and I'm not a man, so y'all speak on this one.
Yeah.
As a man, I would think he feels a little like I should have did something else to
I'm gonna look at
preserve
it,
my manhood, or at least to defend my manhood.
I don't know.
The-
Can
my-
they
my
both
ego-
think? What do you think?
my ego says Scrap is going down, turn the Oscars into the Source Awards. That's ego.
Right.
But in a position where Chris Rock probably getting paid, he don't want to lose endorsements. It's so much at stake.
His
So for
fist
him to
falls
keep his
up for a
composure-
moment, then he lets it
yeah,
out.
exactly.
Okay.
His fist does this, and then he.
I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, I noticed his fist. Like after he smacked, you kind of see his fist, and then he goes like that. I mean,
I
this
think-
was, first
I
of all,
think-
do we know that the HBCU, like, was it Will Packer who was behind the setting up of it? I mean, you know, it was a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of great things happening.
So I think Chris Rock was in a lose-lose. I'm sure his manhood, his ego is bruised. I think he the one that needs to be checked on more so than Will,
Yeah.
because you know that's a tough one. That's a tough pill to swallow. And I don't know. I think he's in a lose-lose. If he reacts, if he gives Will in kind what he just gave him, it's the most ghetto, worst moment in Academy Award history. Remember, we made a big fuss, rightfully so, just a couple of years ago about the lack of representation, African American representation, and now we're there, and we got a fight on stage. On stage.
Legit
On the
fight.
night that a black man produced the Oscar,
The
a man
HBO.
don't
So
win it.
it feeds the narrative of we can't take y'all nowhere.
Nowhere.
And then you got to have all these people helping you. You got to Denzel calm you down, Tyler Perry calm you down. Dude, sit down.
Yeah, so it was a lose-lose for Chris Rock, and so you know I don't know.
I think
it's a win for Chris Rock.
They said
it's a win.
his tour sales have went up just that quick. So
I think it's
but
a
go
win.
ahead.
So I knew that, you know, we were going to talk to him. I was at my doctor and I was talking to the nurse, and she's not Black. And I was kind of asking her, like, you know, da da da. And she was like, I can't believe it. I heard on the radio, she was like, just act professional. And she was like, and the dignity of Chris Rock, you know, for him to not do anything, the dignity. I mean, so I was just trying to, you know, test and see what was out there.
Well, I think it might be viewed differently across cultures.
For
and
sure.
So, you know, I think it'll be interesting to see how, say, Black men respond, how white ladies respond, Black ladies, white men, so on and so forth across the board, across the spectrum. But I just think he was in an unfortunate position to lose. And then there's, of course, the notion that Will doesn't do that. If it's you can name 20 other people that's on the stage that are comedians that Will don't do that.
He wouldn't have did that
if
it was a white comedian up there. He would not have done that. He wouldn't have done shit. He probably would have picked Jada up. He would have won better if he did that. If Chris Rock made the joke and Will stood his wife up and kissed her, everybody would have cheered or whatever, and he would have looked like the loving husband, the image that he's already been given out there. But
now I will say this. If you are a person, which we all do, but just bear with me for a second, and you have any kind of insecurity, like cosmetic insecurity, and someone in the room makes a joke about that, and let's multiply that by they make a joke about you and that insecurity, it is one of the most uncomfortable positions you could be in.
But he didn't make a joke. It wasn't a joke about alopecia.
The thing is that I don't think a lot of people knew or know about her having alopecia. Jada has been known to be the chick rocking the short hairstyles. When she had long hair, it was kind of like not what you were used to.
Yeah,
you know,
the short is different than bald. Yeah, and I get everybody don't know her struggle, and so, but she knows it, and you know, it's different to say I cut my hair because I wanted to, or I cut my hair because I got patches of bald spots, and I'm gonna look like a fool out here if I'm just still trying to rock my hair.
I ain't rocking with. My thing is, like, I'm not trying to make it seem like it's light, like insecurity is an insecurity, but man, it's fucking alopecia. Like, it's terminal illnesses people deal with, like that right there. I'm not saying like it's. If you can't joke about that, then comedians can't joke about shit. If you can't say alopecia when we done laughed at.
Well, he didn't say alopecia.
He didn't even say
he didn't even reference.
That's my point.
G.I. Jane.
And if you can't say that, you might as well just stop live comedy shows right now. If that right there is the straw to make a person stand up and say, I'm about to defend myself or my wife because she got a low haircut and they millionaire, she can get as many wigs as she wants to if she felt that insecure about it. Nobody ever had to know she had alopecia, but it's Jada Pinkett. She wants that platform to talk about everything that she has going on. Who would have known she had a little patch right here? That's right. Men go bald every day. You know what
Well,
I'm
you
saying?
don't know if it was a little patchy.
Yeah, we don't know if it's
She
a little
showed
bad.
it. She
That was
showed it
that
on
one that she
Instagram.
had, but her hair has been falling out all along, Key. That's what, and
What is it,
You
though?
said it, man. Men go bald every day, B. That's
men go
I'm
bald
going-
every day,
I'm
and
going
I
bald.
would, if you ask a
I'm
man that
going
first
bald.
going bald, he has issues with
Yeah,
going bald. Don't
for
make
sure.
it seem like it's like, oh, my hair,
No,
okay,
I'm
I'm
with
gonna cut
you.
it off.
I'm
They
with
got
you.
issues
That,
with
that's
it.
why
Yeah.
y'all putting the little black stuff all right.
Right. That's
Whoa,
what I'm
Jay.
saying.
You know
Whoa,
what I'm saying?
Jay.
Like, you
Whoa,
know,
Jay.
y'all gotta
Now
keep
we
that
going too
hairline.
far.
Woman too.
Now
You
we
gotta
going
keep
too
that
far, Jay.
hairline.
Right.
Yeah, we going too
When,
far
when the
now.
light shine a certain way, you're like, oh, it's a whole different texture.
Yeah, we going a little too far. Let's
But the one thing that I've seen that I think is pushing it too far is that you know, I saw people saying like, well, Christus did a couple years ago did a whole documentary about good hair and stuff like that. Now he's talking about someone wearing a natural hairstyle. And I'm like, you know.
People, that's the thing. I think people are reaching. There are so many different scenarios you can say. I mean, in hindsight, it's 2020. We've seen all the, you know, everything. So now we got, oh, let's pull in the good hair. Let's pull into this. Let's pull into that. And it's like that. I mean, I think people are reaching at some point.
Yeah.
Joke. Yeah, they're reaching.
But yeah.
Should
But
Chris Rock file charges?
No.
Nah.
No. I think Chris Rock did what he was supposed to do. And the apology that supposedly was out, that wasn't written by him.
Right.
Supposedly. Everything is like,
Hey, hold on.
Should he
Two
file-
questions. Two questions. Should he file charges and or should he sue?
no.
You know what? Honestly, then y'all can't say. Then on one hand, y'all saying Will Smith should be punished, but
I
what's
didn't
the
say he
punishment?
should be punished. I think he
No,
punished
Leah said
himself
it.
by making
Yeah,
himself
I mean,
like
in terms of, you know, if someone does file charge or if the academy suspends him or whatever, I'm talking about in that aspect. I don't know what consequences. I think he's going to have some in some kind of way.
Let me ask
But
the
I don't
question
necessarily think. I think Chris stands in a better position not filing charges. He looks like the good. I mean, even if he filed charges, he's fine. But I think if he doesn't file any, I think he's gonna come out still better, not filing charges. That's just my
Let me
opinion.
ask the question. I agree with you. I agree with you. But what if it was you was on the receiving end of that hand? You know what I mean? If somebody slapped you and you got so much, would you press charges?
And we have the same platform as them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
We're
thing.
still at
Like
the
Would
me
you-
as now, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but not
Like
as
another attorney, you beat him in a case or something, he come smack bail, you know what I mean? Or
Oh yeah,
Steve
I'm filing
come smack you.
charges. I mean,
That's
yeah,
different.
that's different. But if
different.
I'm a
Why?
millionaire and another
If I'm a
millionaire,
celebrity,
Why is it different?
yeah,
Why
I
is it
just
different?
I don't.
I'm just for me because I don't need the money. To like the people are the court. You know what I'm saying? Like
Emotional
I'm coming
distress.
up, huh?
If his
Then you
manhood
really
has
gonna
been
look weak.
compromised,
I mean, I think he would
You're,
look.
you're
even
gonna
more
look.
weak.
You're gonna look petty.
Yeah.
see, I don't fuck with that because I feel like that just perpetuates the stigma that the black man can't get something off. Like he's gonna look weak if he filed charges because he was assaulted.
Good point about
That's true.
Good point about the stereotype of the black man looking weak.
I don't even know if it's a black man. I think even a
I
white
think it's
man.
more
No,
status.
hey,
we're
Jim
talking
Carrey.
about.
Jim Carrey was on with Gail today.
Okay.
And he said, if it was me on the stage, you'd be waking up to the news that Will Smith is hit with a $200 million lawsuit.
Mm.
Like, so, and that's his perspective. Obviously,
Yeah.
we can't take away from the fact that he is a white male comedian. And so he's saying that if it were him in that predicament, he would be suing. I do think that the stigma of the black man would be the perpetuation of the stereotype. He's going to look weak as a black man if he files suit or press charges. I think that's unfortunate.
If I was on the Academy board, though, I would be suspending Will.
Yeah.
Like if I was on the Academy board, like you cannot let that happen and not do something.
Suspend him ain't gonna do nothing.
If I was on the board of the
Boycotted.
Academy, he will be suspended for not. I mean, you know.
What is that gonna do though? He already won. We know he won, and he didn't care to go for the past few years. Him and his wife was boycotting, so suspending him, and he already won. What's
You
the
have to
what's the
set it.
punishment
Well,
in
it's
that?
just because you have to that's just something you have to do as an organization, as a body, to show that this is not something that can happen if we don't do something about it.
I get
And
that,
I
but it
think
doesn't affect Will.
suspension, I don't think suspension is just you can't come to the Oscars. There's other things. They're a part of this society, basically. So there's other things that come along with that. So it's not just, okay, you can't come to the Oscars for the next 2 years. If he's suspended, he can't even I don't think he could be nominated. He can't, even if he does the best movie next year, he can't be a part of it. So I think there's more to just not
I get
attending.
that, but my thing is Will Smith. Like, he's already done so much to the point where it's like, is that really like a suitable punishment? He can never.
Well, I don't. Sometimes it doesn't have to be a suitable punishment. It's just coming from that body. They have to show that they did something, because it's just the next step that you take. It's a protocol, whether it affects him or not.
And just like $1 million lawsuit maybe won't affect him. You know what I'm saying? It's punishment is not necessarily going to hit people a certain way. It's just to show some kind of not gesture, but show some kind of thing, like we're punishing
like a repercussion.
you. Yeah. So
yeah. And I don't think they should take his award away.
Yeah,
that has nothing to do with what he did.
Punish him, yeah, but take the award.
I don't think you should have got the award. King Richard wasn't that good of a movie to me.
I didn't even see
King
it.
Richard, I really enjoyed King Richard.
Did you? Okay, I didn't even see
It ain't Oscar worthy. It ain't best actor of the year worthy.
No,
I'm
in
sorry.
comparison to the other
I agree with you.
nominations.
But at some
should've
point
got
they
it
give you an
five
Oscar
Did
for
you
your
watch
body
the
of work.
movie?
You think, because we all felt that Denzel shouldn't have got the Oscar for A Training Day. I mean,
felt
I
he
love
should.
Training Day. I don't think that was the movie that of all of Denzel's movies.
Yeah.
I don't think that was.
I think
The
it was
Oscar
the best
movie.
role for that year. I also think he should have gotten it for a couple others, like Malcolm X.
I
But
definitely don't think Halle Berry should have got the one
Is
for.
that-
I think she should have though for Monsters Ball.
Really?
So I do. I
You
mean,
thought that was a really great performance.
I thought it was.
Okay.
I thought it was. I felt that.
She could have got it for playing Storm in X-Men before Monsters Ball. Like, damn, Monsters Ball wasn't really good either.
Yeah. I don't know. Talking about this, you can go in so many different angles and so many different ways.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, and real talk, I hope he gets the support that he needs, to be able to
I think
carry the weight that he has to carry.
a suitable punishment would be for Will to stand there and let Chris Rock slap the shit out of him back. Like, that's what I think.
Who's going to issue that punishment
Will Smith.
and make
Will
sure that
Smith
it
should-
happens?
Will Smith should stand in the ring. They should make it a big thing if they want to show that they're
Oh,
two
about
men and they
tournament?
not even a boxing tournament. Just
But
say,
just-
you know what? Hey, I deserve. Will Smith.
Okay, let's call 50.
I deserve. Yeah,
Let's call 50
set it
and
up.
tell him to
Chris, come smack me back. You can smack me as hard as you want.
As hard as you want to.
or whatever.
Yeah.
They shake
No.
hands afterwards. It's blown over. You know what I mean? They
Mhm.
shake hands. It's done. To me, that's good PR. But they ain't gonna do it.
No,
but they
not for
should.
them. I mean, that's funny, but not for
They're
those.
comedians.
They're A-list.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's best
Oh.
for this to be cut clean and Chris stay on the high road.
I think we could go on for days and days, but for whatever reason, our producers are asking us to wrap. I don't know. I think we had a hot one here, but they're asking us to wrap. So listen, what they want us to do is make sure that we keep this conversation going. Follow us on all platforms at The Raw Convo. This is definitely one where we need you to interact with us. Drop us a line, drop a comment. You can watch us on YouTube. You can check us out on the podcast. So make sure you interact with this topic. We want to keep it going. We want to know what you think. We want to know your responses, and we want an opportunity to respond to your responses. So at The Raw Convo on all social media platforms. Let's keep it going. And I think that's it.
Chris Rock got to drop a diss record. That's
He
what
do. He
gotta
gotta do something.
too. He got to hit him up.
Yeah. He got to do something.
All right, y'all.
All right, yeah. Look up the Martin Lawrence when he's talking about the guy who dated MC Light. It's on Instagram. I'll see if I can tag y'all. And somebody put, well, Martin should have got slapped in. I'll try to tag y'all in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. See y'all later.
All right.
All
y'all.
right.
We're back.
Let the conversation continue.